This is how Nnamdi Kanu lost the case. Which case did he lose? No case submission, because a lot of people, when they see the headline, this kind of headline now, it will be like to them, you are giving propaganda. But directly or indirectly, Nnamdi Kanu lost the case. Because if he did not lose the case, it would have been, you have been discharged and acquitted. You are free to go. So he lost the no case submission that took place yesterday at the Zoo Federal High Court that is situated in Abuja, which is their FCT. Anyway, my people, you people should not get tired of hearing the case of the news of Nnamdi Kanu, because almost throughout this week, in fact, until this month end, till next month, it will be this case of Nnamdi Kanu from different perspectives, from different angles, from different media houses, from different television houses, both the one that is real and the one that is fake, from different propaganda houses that is being owned by the Yoruba bastards. So you should not get tired though. All this week, it is about Nnamdi Kanu. We owe him this honor. That guy is really passing through a lot. Or was he gonna come out also shout and say what is happening? You know, in all these things, everybody that spoke yesterday, the only person I love so much, where he made it clear, is Maxwell Okpara. The guy stood on the ground and said, if by the time that they're going to bring the details, which the court asked them, physical evidence of forceful rendition. You can imagine that. They said, okay, no problem. They are going to present it, because they will go to Kenya now and bring the CTC to certify true copy of the judgment, and then bring it to the Nigerian government to show that this guy was actually renditioned. You can imagine High Court overruling what Supreme Court have ruled, overruling what Appeal Court have ruled. Appeal Court said that this guy was forcefully renditioned and make the matter of Nigeria, in fact, he said the matter does not have stand again since they went this far to extradite Nnamdi Kanu. Forceful rendition, oh. You understand me? Go to Appeal Supreme Court, which is the highest court. Highest court still condemn how Nnamdi Kanu was brought into the country, and also how Nnamdi Kanu's home was invaded when they were claiming he jumped bail. He didn't jump bail. Most of the Zoom media houses are still saying today why the government don't want to free Nnamdi Kanu or to grant him bail is because the first time he jumped bail. Go and look, the people who are making this analysis are still the same idiots who will fool X and be telling you that Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal and he jumped bail. But they will not tell you the full story, because they want to use their hand to rewrite the history of what everybody is aware. The Nnamdi Kanu home was invaded, 28 people was killed, including Nnamdi Kanu's pet dog. Oh, and that pet dog, now they pay me. I'm with yourself, may we make a soup now. One Tana Kita na I have one malaria. Anyway, God, I bet want to know my view. I don't come for Calabar. So, so let us face the real fact. Nnamdi Kanu lost the case to the Zoo government. But let's see what happens after they provided the details that the so-called Injustice System Show had from them. To submit from the forceful rendition from Kenya. Okay, Nigerian Medical Association went into dispute between DSS and the Nnamdi Kanu's doctors. Nigeria, okay. One dead and others injured as bomb explosion rocks Imo community. You see how they are doing? They will not tell you. I saw the video, my brother. I could not hold my eyes. The guy 2 legs was off completely. An Hausa man who carry bomb want to go to market to detonate so that the people will die. They want to turn Imo State now to become Borno in Southeast. That's exactly their plan of holding Nnamdi Kanu. So that we should not forget what Segumi said. He said, train the Igbo youth so that they will be fighting IPOB. And the governors accepted, including Alex Oti. Okay, no problem, Shame on all of you, Israel Prime Minister. Don't blast world leaders at United Nations General Assembly for recognizing Palestinian statehood, which even Zoo government supported. That idiot called Alex Tobe also supported, but they are holding Prime Minister of a nation. Norway supported the state of Palestine, but they are holding Cho Ayaba, the leader of Ambazonian government. You can see all these people. Their own hypocrisy is top notch. Their own hypocrisy is top notch. Psychophants everywhere. Anyway, my wonderful people, now here we test this news. I beg if you get it, just help me like, share, comment, and keep subscribing. Okay, a federal high court sitting in Abuja yesterday upheld the position of the Department of State Service (DSS) that the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, stand trial for his alleged terrorism-related activities. The court rejected the request by the Biafran Nation agitator to be transferred from the DSS facility to the National Hospital Abuja for medical treatment. Ruling on a no-case submission filed by Kanu's counsel, Onyechi Ikpeazu, SAN, Injustice James Omotosho, held that a prima facie case of engaging in terrorism activities has been established against the detained IPOB leader. The court stated that a no-case submission was an option open to the defense to make at the end of the submission by the prosecution. Justice Omotosho held that at the stage of trial, the court had bound to consider if there is a prima facie case requiring an explanation from the defendant and not proof beyond reasonable doubt. He therefore ruled that there is a prima facie case of engaging in terrorism activities against Kanu and ordered him to open his defense. The judge said it is in Kanu's interest to clear his name of allegations of wrongdoings. In declining Kanu's request to be transferred from the facility of the Department of State Service (DSS) to the National Hospital Abuja for medical care, the court ordered President of the Nigerian Medical Association to set up a team of experts to determine the true health condition of the detainee. Members of the medical team, the court ruled, must include a cardiologist, a neurologist, and the CMD of National Hospital Abuja. In addition, their team shall be at liberty to use of any medical facility for the purpose of carrying out its findings. The report of the panel ordered the court shall be signed by the chairman and secretary within 8 days of the ruling filed in the court. Justice Omotosho ruled. The court adjourned till October 8 to consider the report of the Nigerian Medical Association panel. Nigerian Medical Association wades into dispute between DSS and Nnamdi Kanu's doctors. The Nigerian Medical Association has waded into the dispute between medical personnel to the Department of State Service (DSS) and the private consultants on the health status of the Biafra Nation agitator Nnamdi Kanu. The umbrella body for medical doctors in the country has set up a 7-man probe panel to look into the disputes arising between the DSS medical team and the private consultant engaged by Kanu. Lead counsel to the DSS, Asuwaju Adeboyoga Awomolo, SAN, revealed this at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday while opposing the request by Kanu to be transferred to the National Hospital for urgent medical attention. Awomolo, SAN, said that a team of eminent medical experts across Nigeria has been put in place and has visited Kanu in DSS custody to ascertain the health status of the detainee. While the DSS medical team, led by Dr. Mohammed Nasiri, a medical officer with DSS, insisted that Kanu can be properly managed at their medical facilities, Kanu's private consultants, led by Professor Martin Agbaji, a retired professor of medicine, insisted that their client must be taken to the National Hospital. Professor Agbaji, who retired from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, Enugu, based his recommendation for the National Hospital on Kanu's deteriorating health conditions. However, the DSS, which brought in the Nigerian Medical Association to resolve the irreconcilable differences on the medical status of the Biafra leader, alleged that Professor Agaji's report was exaggerated and suspicious, especially as it partly recommends some American hospitals. The NMA's independent report is being awaited, according to Awomolos in his submission to the court. However, lead counsel to Kanu, Dr. Onyechi Ikpeazu, SAN, said his team would not oppose NMA's intervention only if such is ordered by the Federal High Court. Earlier, while arguing the application for the transfer of Kanu to the National Hospital, Ikpeazu, SAN, predicted the request on Professor Agaji's medical report that Kanu was suffering from a series of ailments that cannot be handled by DSS medical facilities. He said Kanu will not escape and that the transfer will not pose any security challenge to the federal government-owned hospitals, adding that it is in the interest of justice for Kanu to be alive to defend the terrorism charges against him. The request was, however, vehemently opposed by the DSS lawyer Adeboyoga Awomolo, SAN, who faulted Professor Agaji's report. Among other issues, the DSS lawyer said that no single medical personnel of the agency was involved in any of the tests claimed to have been carried out by Professor Agaji. Besides, the DSS lawyer alleged that the Professor Agaji unilaterally changed Kanu's medication in utter disregard of the ways and methods Kanu had been treated over the past 4 years, adding that the report was made in bad faith to send false narratives about Kanu's health challenges to the public. The DSS said that the exclusion of its medical officers who have been managing Kanu's health without hitches cast doubt on the good faith and credibility of the report and recommendations. Awomolo SAN argued that moving Kanu to the National Hospital would cause chaos and inconveniences for thousands of patients in the hospital. He insisted that the federal government was deeply concerned about Kanu's safety and security, hence his opposition to the movement to the National Hospital. The senior lawyer maintained that Kanu would be allowed to enjoy the services of medical personnel of his choice in DSS facilities, rather than being moved to an insecure location. He pleaded with Justice James Omotosho to refuse the request and stick to the earlier order of accelerated trial. Justice Omotosho, after taking argument for and against, announced that he would deliver his ruling later the day. One dead, others injured at bomb explosion rocks Imo community, and I hope Hopeless Uzodunjo is happy about this. Tragedy struck Obi-Nwanne community in Njaba local government area of Imo State on Thursday when an explosion killed a man and left 2 passers-by injured. The disturbing video of the incident seen by Nigeria News Online, which quickly circulated on social media, showed the victim writhing in pain with his legs shattered by the blast. Unidentified residents whose voices are heard in the clip alleged that the deceased, identified as Chinweroke Mmadu, may have been attempting to plant the explosive device in a nearby market before it detonated. Some residents also claimed it was linked to a terror group parading as Biafra agitators. Confirming the incident in a text statement, the spokesperson of the Imo State Police Command, Henry Okoye, said preliminary findings revealed that the victim was carrying the device when it exploded prematurely. On receipt of the distress call, operative from Njaba Divisional Headquarters immediately mobilized to the scene, Okoye stated. He added that the injured passersby had been rushed to the General Hospital for treatment. Okoye further disclosed that the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the operations, Hamzat Abdul Kadir, led operatives of the explosive ordnance disposal unit to the scene. The area was carefully swept and has been declared safe for public use, he said. The Commissioner of Police in Imo, Aboki Danjuma, prayed for the speedy recovery of those injured and reassured residents of the command's commitment to protecting lives and properties. He urged the people to remain calm, security conscious, and to provide timely information to aid police operations. The last but not the least, shame on all of you, Israel Prime Minister blasts world leaders at hunger for recognizing Palestinian statehood. The air was rent with boos on Friday at the United Nations General Assembly when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lambasted countries which recently decided to recognize the statehood of Palestine. Nigeria News report that Netanyahu, during his speech, condemned countries that have decided to recognize Palestinian statehood, labeling their actions as shameful, sheer madness, and insane. He argued that such actions would only embolden terrorism across the world. His statement, however, prompted disagreement from some members of the audience, with some of the delegates staging a walkout, and the protests continued until the United official had to call for calm before the Israeli Prime Minister could continue his speech, exactly what they did to him last year. Netanyahu argued that recognizing Palestinian statehood is tantamount to encouraging terrorism against Jews and the innocent people worldwide. He compared the push for Palestinian statehood after Hamas' October 7 assault to offering Al-Qaeda a state near New York after the state September 11 attacks. Netanyahu said Israel will not allow nations to shove a terror state down their throat. Your disgraceful decision will encourage terrorism against Jews and against innocent people everywhere. It will be a mark of shame on all of you. What you are doing is giving the ultimate reward to intolerant fanatics who perpetrated and supported the Sabbath massacre. Giving the Palestinians a state 1 mile from Jerusalem after October 7 is like giving Al-Qaeda a state 1 mile from New York City after September 11. We will not commit national suicide because you don't have the guts to face down a hostile media and anti-mystic mobs demanding Israel's blood, he said. The Israeli Prime Minister added that biased media, radical Islamist constituencies, and anti-Semitic mobs are influencing world leaders condemning the war in Gaza and every other part. Anyway, my people, now here we take a break. Please like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos.